Welcome, fellow bookworms, to Tibra's Den. My name is Whitney, and today I have a Throwback Thursday for you guys. So, the books I'm going to be talking about, only one I actually read as a child. The other two I watched the movies as a child over and over and over again. And one of them I still watch the movies. So, there's actually five books in total, but three of them are part of the same kind of collection. So, we'll go ahead and jump right in. The first one is kind of a picture book, and it's the true story of the Three Little Pigs by a wolf, but it's as told by John Scieszka, I want to say is how you pronounce his last name, and Lane Smith is the illustrator. So this is kind of a twist on the original Three Little Pig story, and in this you have the big bad wolf, Alexander Wolf, and he's telling his story. So, he's not the big bad wolf in this. He's just a neighbor of the pigs, and things just kind of got out of control. So, it is really, really cute. Like, I read it right away when it came, and I was laughing while I was reading it because even as an adult, it's very cute. And yeah, it's really enjoyable, and I remember reading this, a lot as a when I was young. So, but yeah, it's just like I said, just a little twist on the original Three Little Pigs story as told by um the wolf. So, really, really enjoyable. That's the first one I read. Then I had gotten, like, a few weeks ago, I got in Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne and read this, really enjoyed it. This is the full color gift edition, which I thought was really cute. So I got in this, and one night when I was having insomnia, I was looking to see if they had the others in full color gift editions, and they did. So I got the other three. The first one is House at Pooh's Corner. And this one, just as good as the first one. Obviously, I watched the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh and Winnie the Pooh growing up, like those movies. Um, and so I'm very familiar with the little chapter stories that are in these books that were put into the movies. And so it was really fun just revisiting and seeing. I have to say though, reading these and having been the movie watcher for so long, Eeyore's not quite as lovable in the books as he is on screen. And Tigger's never been my favorite, and Tigger was kind of presented a little bit different as well. But otherwise, I think the movies did a really good job, and like I said, the stories were very, very familiar. So I read the House at Pooh Corner, and that was a lot of fun. And then this one was actually written before the Winnie the Pooh books, and this is when we were very young. And this one, you have these are poems, the next two are poem collections. And this one is when Pooh was first introduced, and he was introduced in one of the poems. But yeah, I thought I'm not a big poetry reader. My plan going into next year is I want to read more poetry, but reading these, some of them were kind of a little bit off, but I did enjoy them overall. So I marked two in each book that I particularly enjoyed. And so the first one I marked in this book um, is missing, and it's about this mouse that is missing. So he opened his box and the mouse got out. But my favorite line of the poem was, "Have you seen a mouse with a waffly nose?" I thought that was really, really cute. I just thought the poem overall was cute. And then again, you have the colored illustrations, which the illustrations are the original ones done by Ernest H. Shepard, but they had somebody color them in, and then, obviously redid it. And then the other one that I really enjoyed, which has another mouse, it's the Dormouse and the Doctor. And I really like this one. This one was a little bit deeper for me, I think. Because you have this Dormouse, and he lives. So I'll read the first verse, I guess. There once was a dormouse who lived in a bed of delphiniums blue and geraniums red, and all day long he had a wonderful view of geraniums red and delphiniums blue. And so this doctor comes and thinks he needs something different and decides he needs chrysanthemums and plants chrysanthemums yellow and white. And so it's kind of that story, and I don't know, I really connected to it because it's like this dormouse is perfectly happy in his delphinium blue and geraniums red, and somebody else decided he needed something different. And I think, especially being autistic, like it's like, you have your things that make you happy, but they're not necessarily acceptable to society, and society says you should be one way. And so I like that poem a lot. And then the one that introduces Pooh is the teddy bear poem, and you have Pooh in the mirror, which is kind of iconic and everything like that. So this one was pretty cute. I think I enjoyed these poems a little bit more than the other ones. But like I said, this was written actually before the Winnie the Pooh books were. Even though when you look at the series, like on Goodreads, it comes in third. So, um, really enjoyed that one. And then the other one, which is the fourth, is Now We Are Six. So, and I did mark a couple poems in here. Again, some of these they just didn't have like the right, I don't know, feel to them. Like it was a little bit awkward, and some of them didn't really make sense. But I did like a couple. The first one is The Old Sailor. This just kind of made me think of my grandpa a little bit because he was a sailor. Even though the poem itself has like different vibes a little bit, he got stranded on this island and such. Um, and then this one also just reminded me of being neurodivergent because the sailor has like this long list of things he needs to do, and he starts and then, well, no, I need to do this first, and then no, I need to do this first. A little bit more like ADHD. um, but it's definitely neurodivergent, and it just kind of cracked me up because he was like, "Well, no, I need to do this," and then you start that, and then, "Well, no, I need to go do this," and he was all over the place, and he ended up getting nothing done. Which it also reminded me of executive dysfunction, which I definitely struggle with a little bit. And then the other one I marked was Forgiven. And this one is about a beetle, and the beetle ran away. Um, the nurse accidentally let the beetle out, and so he has to forgive his nurse or his nanny for accidentally letting the beetle out. And I just thought it was really, really cute. I like the little beetle. So, and there was a lot of other ones in this one that I enjoyed too, even though there was a lot that were a little bit weird compared to the other one. But again, the colored illustrations are just so nice. So, really enjoyed all of these. I definitely, think the full color editions are worth it. So I now have this set, which the only thing is this one was previously a library book, so I'm gonna try to get off like the wrapping and such, so it matches a little bit better. But still, really, really happy to have this set for sure. So really cute. Can't go wrong with Pooh. And it was a lot of fun revisiting these characters in story form. Um, and I just had a really good time reading those. And then I wasn't planning on reading this right away, so those weren't actually on my September TBR. Those other four books, they weren't actually on my September TBR. But when they came in the mail, I just couldn't resist reading them. So I wasn't planning on reading this next one until later in the month, but since I was reading these ones anyway, and I didn't want to try to get out another video before I go up to my mom's, which when you're watching this, I don't know if I'll still be up there or not, but I decided to go ahead and read this one so I could do a Throwback Thursday video, and that is Matilda by Roald Dahl. And I had never read this one. I've never read anything by this author, but Matilda was one of my go-to movies when I was growing up. I watched it so often. And so I got this because I was trying to get one of the Boxcar Children books, and ended up adding this to the order to kind of fill out the order, which if you saw that haul, I was from Pango and they couldn't even find the Boxcar Children books, so they actually sent me this for free. The seller did, because they felt bad that they couldn't find their Boxcar Children books that they had listed. But yeah, this one I was really surprised at how close the movie was to the book. Like there was a few things that were a little different, like when Matilda first kind of realizes she has powers, she's sitting there and she ends up blowing up the TV. That's not in the book at all. And I love that scene. Like I love that she just got mad. But a lot of the other stuff was like very true to the book. So I was surprised because a lot of times in movies they change a lot of things, but in this case, it it was true to it, minus a few things. And so yeah, this was a lot of fun to revisit as well. Um, Basically, in case you're not familiar, you have Matilda, and her parents are just kind of neglectful. They're not kind to her, they don't take care of her, so she's kind of had to go and take care of herself, and she's very intelligent, so she teaches herself to read, and then she's also really good at math, like she has a natural knack for numbers. And she ends up going to school, and her teacher, Miss Honey, is really nice, but the headmistress is horrible. Definitely couldn't do any of those things in ever, let alone today's world. But anyway, so she goes to school and she ends up, the headmistress is blaming her for something, and so she ends up learning that she has these powers to move objects with her eyes. And then it kind of, it's just her with this power and trying to save the school, and such. So, and have a happy ending. So, really cute. You can't go wrong with Matilda, even though, like I said, some of the things was just like outlandish. It's always been one of my favorites. I do say, even though the movie was really true to the book, I did like the movie better because I think it developed the story a little bit more than what you get in the book, but really enjoyable. And again, you have illustrations, which are a lot of fun. So, and the illustrator was Quentin Blake. So, really good. Really enjoyed this one as well. It's, a little bit higher age, more chapter book. But yeah, those are what I read. You really can't go wrong with any of them. So I have those, and then I have the true story of the Three Little Pigs, which I made my husband read as well. He didn't enjoy it quite as much as I did, but I do think he enjoyed it a little bit. So that is it for today's video. Let me know if you have read any of these or if you were a big Winnie the Pooh or Matilda movie fan growing up. Or even now, definitely let me know down in the comments below, or which of these, if you haven't read any of them, which of these would be the one you would be most likely to pick up. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys here. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.